I also will choose their delusions, keep that in mind, and will bring their fears upon them. Because when I called, none did answer. When I spake, they did not hear, but they did evil before mine eyes. See, people think that they're doing things you don't see them. They did evil before the Most High's eyes. And it's sad because you got to cry for our people, cry out to the Most High for our people, because that's the only time he had pity on us. And sometimes he say, don't cry to me, don't even come to me for them. I'm still going to do what I'm going to do to them. We can't even cry to the Most High for some people. When I called, none did answer. When I spake, they did not hear. But they did evil before mine eyes, and chose that in which I delighted not. Going back to, he said them delusions, right? That's why you look at a lot of our people, they're not bona fide Israelites, man. They just perpetrating a fraud. They ain't real. I mean, who's real now? Who's gonna be real? That's why it says, because they really Gentiles in the mindset, even though they call themselves Israelite, a lot of y'all Gentiles. Look at Jeremiah 16:19. This is what y'all gonna say. Most High say gonna send you delusions, his delusions. He said, oh, Most High, my strength and my fortress. They crying out now, and my refuge in the day of affliction. You hear that? Affliction. That don't sound like a lot of love, happiness, and joy. In the day of your affliction, the Gentiles shall come unto thee from the ends of the earth, where we at now. Because our people minds are in a Gentile state. If you're not gonna do what Most High say do, you ain't no Israelite. You a Gentile. You taught you a Gentile, you still a Gentile. You ain't no Israelite. That's why I say the Gentiles, the Israelites, along with the other nations. But he say he gonna send strong delusions, right? To who? To us. This is talking to us, the Israelites. He said, the Gentiles shall come unto thee from the ends of the earth. You know, I mean, say to the Jew and to the Gentile, that's the Israelites. In the Gentile state of mind. You see? Call themselves Greeks. Like y'all call yourself Americans now, say no different. Or whatever nation you from that you living in now, with these names that they have called you by the lands that you live in, the same thing, no different. And you taught you Gentiles grafting in, right? Most of you still, even though you call yourself an Israelite, you still, just like you came from the church, you still got that same mindset because you still doing like the Gentiles do. You ain't under the law. And the Most High gonna get you for that. The Gentiles shall come unto thee from the ends of the earth and shall say, surely our fathers have inherited lies. Hear that? Lies, vanity, and things wherein there is no profit. You're going to be caught in delusions, man. Most I say he's going to do this to you. Why? Because you have accepted the way of the world. You at war with the Most High. You know, he already said he's fire from the waist up and fire from the waist down. And you gonna fight the Most High. You're gonna be. You better understand. I don't think you understand. I don't think people really understand. Hebrews 10:31. It is a fearful thing. Now make this not be you being afraid, you being scared. It is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power of the Most High. He already said. It's a fearful thing to fall into the Most High's hand. And you don't have no protection. The Mashiach Shai not there to fan them flames from you. He already said he's fire from the waist up, fire from the waist down. And he's not there to fan them flames from you. Oh, you think you ready, huh? Look at Jeremiah 32. Jeremiah 32. And 39. Jeremiah 32 and 39. And I will give them one heart, one mind, and one way, that they may fear me forever. You hear that? I'm going to give them one heart, which is one mind, or be in the same mind, and one way, that they may fear me forever, for the good of them, and of their children after them. Hear that? So you think it's not important to fear the Most High? What he said? For the good of them and of their children after them. You see? And I will make an everlasting, this is forever and ever covenant, agreement, a contract with them. Who's the them? Verse 38. And they shall be my people, and I will be their power. Now we know my people. Go to hold that, get Exodus 3 and 10. Who's the Most High's people? It says my people, right? Exodus 3 and 10. To prove that it's talking to the Israelites. We the Israelites. Exodus 3 and 10. Come now, therefore, and I will send thee unto Pharaoh, that thou mayest bring forth my people. Who's the Most High's people? The children of Israel out of Egypt. We all 12 tribes were in the Egyptian captivity. He said, my people, the children of Israel. There it is. So, going back to Jeremiah 32 and 38. And they shall be my people, the children of Israel. And I will be their power. You see? So when he says in verse 40, I will make an everlasting covenant with them, that's the children of Israel, the Most High's people. 12 tribes of Israel. That I will not turn away from them to do them good, but I will put my fear in their hearts. See that? He's going to put his fear in our minds, that they shall not depart from me. See? So if you don't have this fear of the Most High in your mind, then you're not with him. You're not with them. We rehearsing how to have this fear, total respect for the Most High, doing what he say do. So be that first fruit. He said, yeah, I will rejoice over them to do them good. And I will plant them in this land assuredly with my whole heart. Hear that? With the Most High's whole mind. He gonna plant us in the land. Not no man, but the Most High gonna put us in that land. Assuredly, that he could be honored. He can get the glory, not man. Assuredly with my whole heart and with my whole soul. Hear that? That's what the Most High said he gonna do. For thus said the Most High power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. He identified himself in verse 36, and now therefore thus said the Most High power, the power of Israel. See? So you see, in Israel is 12 tribes of Israel. Most High the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Jacob's name was changed to Israel. That's why I say Most High power of Israel, the Israelites. So now, verse 42 said, for thus said the Most High power of Abraham, who had a son named Isaac, who had a son named Jacob, whose name was changed to Israel, and we became the Israelites. Like as I have brought all this great evil upon this people, hear that? He brought all this great evil upon us, children of Israel, because we ain't follow his law, statute, commandments. We ain't want to do what he say do. We want to do what everybody else is doing, or whatever it is that the devil says, come on over here and try this. Come over here and try that. And we doing that. That's why the Most High said you done it right before his eyes. He's seen us. But thus say the Most High, like as I have brought all this great evil upon this people. That's happening right now. That's until the end. We talk about the end. When he gonna make this covenant with us, this is the end. So between now and then, he's gonna bring all this great evil upon us, but we can't see it. Because the Most High can't touch you, huh? That's your spirit, huh? You holding it now? Or you evil is all, and you just waiting on him to deal with you, huh? Or he can't touch you, one or the other. That's why I say, for the Most High have said, like as I have brought all this great evil upon this people, so will I bring upon them all the good that I had promised them. He said, just like he brought all this evil upon us, that we see. I've seen more people die this year, sad to say, than ever. He brought a great evil upon us. It ain't over, y'all. It ain't over. That's why we got to get ourselves together. Or Look for the lake of fire. You big bad Israelites out there, you think you all that? We're going to find out who's bad. We're going to find out you bad or the Most High is bad. And his angels are bad. They right here on the earth. They right here on the earth. We're going to see. See, some of you have been through things. You see the results of certain things, but you don't really want to accept it because you went back to darkness. Your people's minds in gross darkness because you're gross ignorant, gross stupid, gross, like I said, you're a fool. You have no knowledge of what you're supposed to do to continue to make it to the kingdom. That's what it's all about. Otherwise, you might as well just go on and live it up now because you know your butt going to the lake of fire where the worms never die and the fires never quench. Or you're going to be here. Most High will. For thus say the Most High, like as I have brought all this great evil upon this people, so will I bring upon them all the good that I have promised them. See, and the field shall be brought in this land, whereof ye say, it is desolate, without man or beast, and that's all it is over there. Desolate without man or beast. It is given to the hand of the Chaldeans, who is in captivity of the dang on Babylonians. See, so we got to fear the Most High. All this evilly bug. Let's go to Deuteronomy, 28th chapter. People don't fear the Most High like they should. Verse 15 says, but it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Most High thy power, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. There's nothing that we can do to stop this from happening if you do evil. You want to break the Most High's laws, statutes, commandments? Oh, he got something for you. Verse 47. Because thou servest not the Most High thy power with joyfulness and with gladness of heart, for the abundance of all things, therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Most High shall send against thee. In hunger, got to get whatever you want. You're hungry, you got to get it from your enemy. And in thirst, you're thirsty, you got to get it from your enemy. And in nakedness, you want some clothes on your back, got to get it from your enemy. And in want of all things, you got to get it from your enemies. And some of you getting things from the enemies that are contrary to this word, too. That you're going to have to pay for. Like you say, he see you in sin and doing the things that y'all doing. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. And that happened to us. Put a yoke of iron around our neck. And now we destroyed for lack of knowledge. Why he call you a bunch of fools. He said it. Proverbs 1:7, we just read it. Scoffers and scorners, you can't tell them nothing. Most I shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, like over here in America. July 4th, established 1776. That's the end of the earth. What came after that? Nothing. And now it's going to give you a sign of what they're going to have. As swift as the eagle fly. Swift as the eagle fly. What's the sign of America? The bald eagle. A nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand. Your name is Toby. My name is Kutikita. Y'all heard that on Roots. A nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of old. Ain't caring about nobody that's old, nor show favor to the young. There ain't no favor to the young. At all. Or the old. See, so all these things have happened, and we as a people can overlook it all you want to, but these curses are happening to us. So we say he brought all this evil upon us. We brought it upon ourselves. Why he said he's going to do it? He said he's going to do it, and we decided we're going to do it. Still to this day, we're going to do what we want to do. So therefore, We're going to see if you're going to win or the Most High going to win. By Hashem Mashiach Yahushua. We're going to see who's going to win. Look at Psalms 25, the 25th chapter. In verse 12. What man is he that feareth the Most High? What man is out there that feareth the Most High? Him shall he teach in the way that he shall choose. Now, you know, if you don't fear the Most High, he ain't working with you. People say, oh, praise the Most High. You ain't working with the Most High. You don't fear the Most High. Verse 14 said, the secret of the Most High is with them that fear him, and he will show them his covenant. You see? But you don't fear the Most High, you ain't getting none of his secrets. That's why a lot of you still in the same mindset as you always been. You got a little knowledge here, a little knowledge there, but as far as bringing anything to the table, spiritually, according to thus say the Most High, it's not happening. It's not happening. Why? Because you don't fear the Most High. You don't fear him. And the only way that you're going to really make it through this is to observe the times and the opportunity. Because if you don't observe the time and the opportunity, I don't know what to tell you except for what's waiting for you. And you know what that is. If you don't observe the opportunity of fearing the Most High, it's really just being obedient. Look at Numbers 32 and 15. Really, it's just being obedient, doing what he say do. Most High, he didn't want no sacrificing no animals. He didn't want us to be coming to him asking for repentance. Because you shouldn't have to repent if you doing what's right. You learn it, live it, and apply it in your life, you shouldn't have to be repenting. When he visits you, they had an earthquake out here. But he said earthquake's going to be in diverse places, not just out here, but everywhere. Look what it says in Numbers 32 in the law, verse 15. For if you turn away from after him, he will yet again lead them in the wilderness, and ye shall destroy all this people. Hear that? And ye shall destroy all this people. Ain't that something? I mean, look at verse 11. It says, no, verse 10. And the Most High's anger was kindled the same time, and he swears, saying, the Most High swears, saying this: surely none of the men that came up out of Egypt from 20 years old and upward shall see the land which I swear unto Abraham, unto Isaac, and unto Jacob, because they have not wholly followed me. You hear this? We trying to make it to the kingdom. You don't want to follow him? Hey, this your kingdom right here. The ghetto and slums and the police brutality, everything that you can look at that's coming towards you, death, famine, diseases, pestilence, plagues, All these things coming to you. He said the evil I have done to this people before he's going to put his covenant in our mind. He said. Why? Because we refuse to follow him. Listen what he says. He says, surely none of the men that came up out of Egypt from 20 years old and upward shall see the land which I swear unto Abraham, unto Isaac, and unto Jacob, because they have not wholly followed me. Save, he's saying, except Caleb, the son of Jephunneh, the Kenizzite, and Joshua, son of Nun. But they have wholly followed the Most High. 2 men. We talking about 600,000 strong army. So what is he saying? I'm killing 599,998 men and leaving 2 left. And the Most High's anger was kindled against Israel. And he made them wander in the wilderness 40 years until all the generation that had done evil in the sight of the Most High was consumed. Remember, he's a consuming fire till he killed every last one of them. Oh, but he can't touch you, huh? Because you invincible. It can't happen to you, huh? You better think again, people. And behold, ye are risen up in your father's stead, an increase of sinful men, to augment yet the fierce anger of the Most High toward Israel. See, people don't realize how this is our last chance to get it together. Could be our last chance. And you choose death. Going back to the beginning, you know, I know you women don't like to hear it, but going back to the beginning, with Eve, the devil offered her what? Powers. To be like gods, knowing good and evil. Most I said, don't eat of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. And she did. So now you got all that time. That's why the Most High called the women a weaker vessel. And Adam was weak and doing what he did, and Eve of it too. So what did they choose? Power. You know, I'm going to be somebody. These days and times could be money. Could be fame. Could be fortunes. Whatever. Tantalizing you. Put it in front of your face. Put that little carrot in front of your face. Then snatch it back. Because you're a fool. Then you come running back. They snatch you off. Cut you off. Then come back. You like a little puppy. Run into it. They tell you what you got to do. You got to do this, you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to do that. Pretty soon, you in the world. They got you. But they did something that they done make sure that they can defame you, bring you down. And the Most High going to bring you down, first and foremost. And you're going to work with them. You remember, when you do evil, you draw evil to you. Now, when you evil, when you know what's right and you do what's evil, then you draw evil to you. What you think? It's going to be all right? It ain't going to be all right. Oh, you're going to cry a lot. But when you cry, it ain't going to be to the Most High. You're going to be like, he already said, I'm going to mock you. Look, that's why he wants us to be righteous. He wants us to do what's right. It's not hard. He said, it's not hard.